Slings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
And congratulations to Taylor Swift for winning a Super Bowl in her very first year in the league. It's tough to go all the way as a rookie, but Taylor has done it. Kansas City wins the Super Bowl for the third time in 6 years with Patrick Mahomes as the starting quarterback. I know people who don't follow football, Swifties mostly, are focusing on Travis Kelce and singing "You Belong With Me" to Taylor at the club after the championship. But what Patrick Mahomes has done in his first 6 seasons as a starter is unprecedented. He's gone to 4 Super Bowls. The Chiefs have won 3 championships. He is now a 3-time Super Bowl MVP, and he's won the MVP of the league twice. That was one of the best Super Bowls ever, only the second in history to go to overtime, the first to ever be won on a walk-off touchdown. Spectacular game all the way around. The first half, a little bit boring, and yes, I was rooting for the 49ers. I've been a 49ers fan for pretty much my entire life. Forgive me. When I was growing up, the Packers were in the midst of about 2.5 decades of futility, and when the playoffs rolled around, I always needed a team to root for. So who better for 7-year-old me to start rooting for than the team that kept winning Super Bowls in San Francisco? I loved me some Joe Montana. I loved me some Jerry Rice, and I loved me some Brock Purdy. Unfortunately, the Chiefs did what the Chiefs do. They won with defense. They won by shutting down the 49ers in the second half, clawing all the way back. And, of course, Mahomes leading them on a game-winning drive, going all the way down the field in overtime to win. Now, if you, like me, were rooting for San Francisco, if you just couldn't bear the thought of Taylor Swift winning that Super Bowl, if you had to turn off the TV following the post-game press conferences when Travis found her in the crowd and they embraced with a kiss, and then they looked around to make sure the cameras were still on them, they kissed again. Okay, cameras still on them, they kissed again, gave another big hug. If, in fact, you were disgusted by that sight, ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news. We will not have to see Taylor Swift at a football game for at least 9 months. I can't imagine she's going to be showing up at XFL football games. I, however, have a slightly different take on Travis and Taylor and all of that. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. A Monday edition. Busy broadcast week starts now with 2 full hours of broadcast excellence. Oh, wait, that was Rush Limbaugh. We strive for and occasionally achieve broadcast competence here on the program. If you'd like to join us, the AdventKnows.com talk and text line is always open at 414-799-1130, 1-800-838-9476, where you can find us toll-free. Watch the show streaming live on X, formerly known as Twitter. It is at Dan O'Donnell Show there, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. We're also streaming live on our YouTube channel. As the kids say, like and subscribe. Smash that like button, youtube.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. Final week this week of the Cold Hard Cash contest. We give you $1,000 just for listening to us. If your entry is picked at random each and every hour from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you win $1,000. And this hour's word is green. G-R-E-E-N. Green. You have got until 55 past the hour to go to our website and enter the keyword green to enter the contest for this hour. I know most people who are not football fans watch the Super Bowl for 2 things. 1, the halftime show, obviously. 2, the commercials. Do you know what struck me about the commercials this year? There were almost none that had a lot of buzz. In fact, when one of the most buzzed about commercials was actually from 1960, you know this year was not exactly a banner year for ads. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. using his famous uncle's 1960 ad, superimposing his face where pictures of JFK would have been. He's already apologizing for it. Members of his family, who of course are staunch Democrats, very upset, or at least they're pretending to be, that he would dare use his uncle and use images of Eunice Kennedy. Bobby Shriver was all over this, the brother of Maria Shriver. He's been a Dem activist for years. And how dare you, Uncle Bobby? How dare you use my... Oh, yes, he is very upset. The shock of John F. Kennedy's death is just still too raw 65 years later. I thought it was a fantastic spot, and I am hereby calling on presidential candidates to go back to writing songs. I want to hear this year, trumpety, 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 trump. Come on. You know this thing writes itself, folks. We've got a report from the White House. Joe Biden actually watched that ad, turned to Jill and said, "Honey, we're voting for John F. Kennedy in the upcoming election. In 1960, sweetheart, we are voting for JFK." Of course, the other ad that generated a ton of buzz, and not just because it gave a distinct uncanny valley feeling. Do you know what the uncanny valley is? Uncanny valley refers to it's a, how shall I put this? It's a leftover instinct from when we were actually not the only species of human-like humans on this planet. There was Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, and Homo sapiens needed to have a fear of other tribes. So deeply embedded in our subconscious is the innate fear, or at least the unsettling feeling when we see something that's almost human, but not quite human. We get this feeling, it's called the uncanny valley. It refers to AI, robots, that sort of thing. Do you know what ad I am talking about? The foot fetish Jesus ad. Now, I'm not saying Jesus had a foot fetish. Jesus, of course, washed feet to wash away people's sins. Now, the wokesters behind the He Gets Us campaign, I believe the money behind this is the founder of Hobby Lobby. His version of Christianity apparently is white people washing the feet of Muslims, Black Lives Matter supporters, a woman who appeared to be going to get an abortion. It was always, I watched this thing 3 times because I'm like, wait a second. First time I saw it, I was way off put. These were all AI drawn images in this spot. First time I was super put off by that. I'm like, oh, yeah, AI isn't quite there. He Gets Us campaign. That's a whole lot of AI feet that I would prefer not to see on Super Bowl Sunday. I watched it 3 times. I said, there is no way these people would only have white people in the Jesus role forgiving the sins of all of you minority lib sinners. The imagery there was just a little cringe for my tastes. The implication, of course, being that homosexuality, I believe there was a transgender person getting their feet washed by a priest. There were 2 old dudes having a nice little foot bath together. There was the white girl washing the feet of the Muslim woman. So is she a sinner just because she's a Muslim? I'm not sure I get this. It also gets theology, of course, completely wrong. Was Jesus cool with sinning? He most certainly was not. There is an overturned table in the temple that will attest to what Jesus thought about sin. Jesus loved people. He did. Most definitely he does. That's his whole thing. He's God. God loves all of us. Does God want us to continue to sin and say, here's your free foot wash, prostitute? Keep on prostituting. Or, like Mary Magdalene, does he say, Mary, I am washing your feet. Go and sin no more. That is sort of his whole deal. Producer Dave, did you notice any other commercial. Okay, there was one more, and this one was actually, normally the celebrity ads just go through me like you know what through a goose, right? It's like, oh gosh, we got together Post Malone and Ariana Grande. It'll be like just random celebrities in a mishmash. You can tell these things were written by focus group. It's basically an AI algorithm that says, okay, these idiots like celebrities. These idiots like old people. I got it. Jenna Ortega and a couple of grandmothers robbing some dude of his flaming hot Cheetos or whatever that spot was. But the one that actually did this well was Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and Matt Damon doing the Dung Kings silly little Dunkin' Donuts ad. I actually like that one quite a bit. Now, you might have noticed that something was missing from the Super Bowl broadcast. And I am a big Super Bowl fan, as you can tell. I'm sure I don't have our text app up yet, but I'm sure a lot of people are saying, Dan, we want politics. Dan, get off of the sports. Dan, I am not going to listen to you again unless you talk about exactly what I want you to talk about. And you are right. I am, in fact, a jukebox where you pay the quarter, and I will talk about exactly. Should we do that? I should get on like OnlyFans or something, where if you... No, not OnlyFans. What? What? I can get OnlyFans. I can sell. You pay me $10, and yes, I will wash your feet on OnlyFans. Oh God. I don't even want to know what people will do on OnlyFans producer day. But I'm saying I should. No, not OnlyFans. Freudian slip there. I'm just thinking about the He Gets Us people immediately selling the outtakes from that commercial on OnlyFans to all the weird feet people. No, what I'm saying, I go on Cameo and I give you a personalized broadcast of whatever it is you want to hear. All right. I'm a huge fan of the Super Bowl. Huge fan. Love it. One thing was missing. And I watch a lot of the pregame coverage. And over the past decade and a half, there's been a tradition that was notably missing this year. Was notably missing last year, but especially in light of, shall we say, recent political events, this one was a pretty big absence. Of course, the presidential interview. Last year, President Biden had the convenient excuse that the game was being broadcast on Fox. And of course, he can't possibly talk to those vicious hate mongers on Fox News. He wanted to talk to something called Fox Soul, which is the, I guess, black broadcast from Fox. It's one of their sub channels, one of their, alternate brands. And Fox was like, no, you're going to talk to a Fox News anchor like Brett Baer, who we want to promote because, this is a promotion for our news product. So he didn't do the interview last year. This year, there's really no excuse. They're going to trot out Gayle King from The Morning Show, maybe Margaret Brennan from Face the Nation to talk to Biden. He still wouldn't do it. It was going to be a softball interview. Why wouldn't he do it? Or, more accurately stated, why wouldn't he be allowed to do it? Because nothing screams, we have full faith in the man ostensibly in charge. And no, that special counsel's report was totally off. Biden isn't slipping at all. Biden isn't a well-meaning elderly man with memory issues. He is totally on top of it. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the sound bites from all the president's men to prove it. Biden's on the top of his game. But instead of allowing him to actually speak, the only time you saw Biden on Super Bowl Sunday was a 48-second pre-recorded video from the White House's official Twitter account about him complaining about the price of Super Bowl snacks.
I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
You know, you could have said that live in an interview, Mr. President. Oh, wait. His people don't think he actually can. Your calls, your texts, much more coming up next on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Classical conservatism. Contemporary style. The Dan O'Donnell Show is coming right back.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
When you hire your local CertaPro painters, you get
The power of doing it right.
detailed project proposals, excellent customer service, and trusted professionals who get the job done on time and on budget.
The power of experience.
We're kings of the scaffolding and pros with the stucco. We've been there, done that. Get your project started at CertaPro.com and get
The power of pro.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Our patient's most common regret statement? I just wish I would have done this sooner.
Find out more at AdventKnows.com because breathing well will help you live better.
AdventKnows.com. Tune in every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. as Ellen Becker Investment Group highlights local people and organizations who are using their time and their talents to give back to make a difference in our community. Milwaukee's philanthropic community. Visit ellenbecker.com to learn more.
If you have a bank account, pay attention. The U.S. banking system is once again under extreme stress, but there is an easy way to protect yourself. Gold. Contact Noble Gold Investments today and safeguard your family's financial future. As a thank you for opening a qualified account, they'll give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin. Just use the promo code GOLD. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
So they couldn't trot out the old man to do an interview, even a taped one, on Super Bowl Sunday. But he's totally with it. He is all good. No worries about him running for president again. No more worries about 4 more years of Biden. We have dispelled all of those with his marginally coherent, slightly unhinged press conference a couple of nights ago, and a 48-second video in which he's railing about the price and size of snacks. It is known as shrinkflation, and we've been covering this for the past couple of years. Shrinkflation occurs when companies will, in fact, very slightly reduce the size of the product that you get for the same price. This is a direct response to inflation, which, you know, I'm thinking there was somebody who was tangentially involved in the Super Bowl broadcast yesterday who had a little something to do with causing inflation. and it wasn't Taylor Swift. Shrinkflation is almost necessary because companies want to do whatever they can to avoid having to raise prices. Now, the left has tried to say that for 3 years now, inflation was greedy companies, price gouging. No. Companies often operate on very small margins. Grocery stores are notorious for this. Retail stores are notorious because the cost of stocking all of the goods and the cost of paying the employees, healthcare, and all that, the profit margin is very small. This is why you see Walgreens stores, Walmarts closing in high crime areas. If they're losing way too much money to theft, they can't afford to operate that store. That store becomes incredibly unpopular and also unprofitable incredibly quickly. So they have to close it. The same is true for the producers of, say, Pringles. If you used to get 20 Pringles chips in the Pringles can, but now you only get 17, it's because the cost to produce that extra 3 chips is something that the Pringles company believes they can save on while still maintaining costs. What liberals don't really understand, and I could write an entire book about what liberals don't understand, but what they don't understand about market economics is that there is a cost associated to bringing you a product. It doesn't just sort of magically appear. When products cost more to produce, companies have 2 choices. One, they let it eat into their profits. Well, damn, that's what they should be doing. Well, unfortunately, then they're not able to expand. Then they're not able to hire more. They're not able to produce a return for investors. Oh, those wealthy fat cats, Dan. No, investors like you or me who have, say, the Pringles company in our 401ks. So what they'll do is pull back on how much they're putting in each can, keeping the price the same, because they still have to compete. Pringles has to compete with Frito-Lays, with Lay's, and I don't know. They might be made by the same company. I have no idea what company makes. I think Yum Brands, which owns Pepsi and Taco Bell and KFC and a whole bunch of chips. I know they make a ton of chips. So I'm just using these sort of random examples. They still need to compete on price. So ultimately what caused all of this is, of course, inflation. Inflation did not start because of the pandemic. It didn't even start with pandemic stimulus spending under Trump. We only saw inflation take hold when Biden injected an additional $1 trillion into the economy when it was least needed. When the production of goods and services was ramping back up following the COVID shutdowns, it was only when Biden injected $1 trillion, including direct stimulus and extended enhanced unemployment benefits, and people were staying home, it caused a massive supply chain crisis. In addition, giving people all of this extra money when they didn't have as many options to spend it on, say, vacations or day trips, you know, a trip to Noah's Ark or Great America or something like that. They would spend it on goods. More money chasing fewer goods is the definition of inflation. So we saw inflation spike, not during Trump. And in fact, inflation hasn't really been a problem since the last disastrous Democratic president. Well, there have been 2 in the interim, but Jimmy Carter. We last saw inflation this high under the exact same idea about economics that Biden and his team brought to the table, and that was under Carter. And it took a huge recession to get that out of the American economic system. Now, the Biden administration has been crowing about how inflation has come down. Prices haven't. Unless you get to negative inflation, which we are nowhere near, obviously, prices aren't going to go down. So companies have to deal with that, and unless they're going to get to a point where they are forced, because the cost to produce those products is so high, that they simply have to spike their prices. Like, at what point would you just not pay for a can of Pringles? If it goes to $6, $7, $8, $10. At some point, you have to consider that. And the only option to keep the prices down, because it's still costing you a ton of money to pay your workers and to produce that can of Pringles, you have a choice to make. And the choice companies are making to deal with the inflation that Biden caused is to put fewer Pringles in the can. Is it their fault? Is it corporate greed? Or is it a response to 3 years of fiscal mismanagement? Conservative thought, not just talk. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show, and it's coming right back.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Want to give as much money as possible to the government when you die? Didn't think so. Attorney Rob Mielek has helped thousands of clients maximize their financial legacy. Hear more on Your Hometown Lawyer, Saturday at 3 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Remember, fail to plan, plan to fail. MielekLaw@wi.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus.
Yeah, I hear you got low prices on mattresses.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
But you can go lower, capiche?
Tell you what, through Monday, trade in your old mattress for a new Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper at any employee-free Hassellus showroom, and we'll knock an extra $200 off. Plus, free next-day delivery.
You've made me an offer I can't refuse.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
I'm Brett Ochtenhagen, owner of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services and host of the Designer Yard Show. I want to share a landscaping secret with you. Winter is when our ornamental trees and shrubs need us most. We all know that plants need pruning, but why in the winter? Well, first, we can see their structure best when the leaves have fallen. And second, pruning is not so stressful when your plants are dormant. Pruning is affordable and makes a huge impact on the vitality and beauty of your trees and shrubs. So prune this winter and have gorgeous flowers next spring and summer. Pruning also helps keep your plants properly sized. No more dancing around them on the sidewalk or wrestling through them to wash your windows. Call today and schedule a complimentary evaluation of your ornamental plants. Our plant care experts will make sure your trees, shrubs, and perennials perform and look their best. Discover the wonders of nature. Call Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services at 262-392-3444 or look for us online at seasonalservices.com.
Don't know what to do for Valentine's Day? Sendix has everything you need to surprise your sweetheart. Stop into your neighborhood Sendix for roses or beautiful bouquet of flowers, or have a talented designer custom design an arrangement that they'll love. Plus, shop a full selection of specialty gifts in store. Make the perfect Valentine's Day dinner at home with savings on Sendix fully trimmed whole beef tenderloins for $9.99 a pound. And don't forget the wine and chocolate-covered strawberries. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
We have a customer who lays her Afghan for her daily nap right in front of her bedroom window, so it's nice and warm when she lays down, almost like it was pulled from the dryer. I told her windows aren't actually supposed to do that, and this was probably a sign of a failing window. When a window is working as it should, in summer the window reflects heat outside, while in the winter, heat is reflected back in. Another sign of a failing window is fading. The same customer soon noticed her bedding and even the wood on her bedside table had faded. New windows keep harmful UV rays from fading your things. When you notice fading, it's time for new windows. Marvin replacement windows are built around you and are top rated for energy efficiency and UV ray protection. And Lisbon Storm Screen and Door can get them in more shapes, sizes, and color combinations than anyone. This is David Wilhelm. When it's time for new replacement windows, remember your clear choice for more is Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Find us at 51st and Lisbon.
It's easy to see. We're being conned by the institutions we used to trust. The mainstream media is distracting us with meaningless headlines instead of focusing on the harsh realities facing American families. We all know something big is coming, and that's why so many folks are preparing. They're becoming more self-reliant by investing in emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, and they make it easy for you to prepare. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and secure some emergency food kits. There's a dozen to choose from that contain tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. My Patriot Supply also sells large solar generators, gravity-powered water filtration systems, heirloom seeds for your garden, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your items will ship that same day. Time is short. Prepare today. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Together, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
Here on the Dan O'Donnell Show, we try to be over-prepared, right? That's sort of the motto what I tell people is, well, when I'm not doing 5 hours of radio a day and only doing 2, I'm simultaneously never working and always working. People always ask, how much do you prepare before a broadcast? And I say, well, the rule I learned from Jay Weber was 2 hours of prep for every hour you're on the air. I probably, it's hard to say because, like I said, I'm never not prepping. I'm never not thinking about what the next show is going to sound like, how we're going to do it, what we're going to talk about, what stats I'm going to use, what research. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you tune into this show because you want terrible jokes, but also to learn a little something that I'm not just going to, talk out of my you-know-where, but actually have the statistics, actually have the facts, actually have the logical arguments to back up everything I say. And that takes a lot of preparation. I would never, ever, I don't think I could. I mean, I could do a show where I'm just sort of BSing, take calls for 2 straight hours. Hey, ask me anything, do whatever. I allow myself one Ask Me Anything show where I do no prep whatsoever and I just rely on your calls. It's fun. We do it around Christmas time, but every other show, I want to be as prepped as possible. The San Francisco 49ers, in part, lost the Super Bowl because they were not prepared. I can prove it. I said this was the second ever Super Bowl to go to overtime. It was also the first played under new overtime rules. Do you know the NFL has different overtime rules for the postseason than it does for the regular season? Used to be way back in the day. Remember Matt Hasselbeck of the Seattle Seahawks against the Packers, where he coin flipping, we want the ball and we're going to score. And then he throws the pick six to Al Harris of the Packers, and that became a bit of a legend in Green Bay fandom. Used to be, if you won the coin toss, you were almost guaranteed to win if you could just go 30, 40 yards down the field, kick a field goal, game is over, sudden death overtime. That rule was changed. If you get a field goal, the other team gets the ball. However, if you go down the field and score a touchdown, the game is over. In the playoffs, that's different. The Super Bowl party I was attending, nobody knew this rule. I think I was the only one who actually know. No, they changed the rules for overtime in the playoffs so that both teams have a chance to possess the ball. Even if you go down the field as the first team to get the ball and score a touchdown, the other team gets the ball back. If they don't score a touchdown, you win. The only time that there's an exception to that is if you start the game with the ball and your opponent gets a safety on you. You lose because both teams have, like, you have had the ball and the other team doesn't need to have the ball because they've already put 2 points up. Do you see? 49ers players, Kyle Juszczyk, one of their captains, who's an all-pro fullback, and Eric Armstead, who's a defensive lineman, said they had no idea what the overtime rules were. I didn't even know about the new playoff overtime rules, so it was a surprise to me. Armstead said, I didn't even really know what was going on in terms of that. Juszczyk said, you know what? I didn't even realize the playoff rules were different in overtime. I assume you just want the ball to score a touchdown to win. I guess that's not the case. I don't totally know the strategy there. We hadn't talked about it. No. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan said, yeah, we talked about this with our analytics guys. We determined that getting the ball first is still an advantage because if we go down, score a touchdown, all you need is a stop and you win, right? Okay. Maybe there's an argument you want the ball second. I think there's a strong one because if you get that safety, game's over, right? In any event, 49ers get the ball first. They get the field goal, and then Kansas City marches all the way down. It really struck me, seeing that story early this morning, that the 49ers never discussed overtime strategy with the players, whereas the Chiefs did. Patrick Mahomes said, oh, yeah, we had the strategy all mapped out no matter what was going to happen. It's a little lesson in the power of preparation. Clearly, Biden's people were prepared for a whole lot of questions about his mental acuity on the Sunday talk shows before the Super Bowl aired, and that's what they got. When even Meet the Press is asking, hey, is this guy going to be upright in another 4 years? This seems to be a concern. Mitch Landrieu, remember him? Louisiana. He is now a senior campaign consultant to the Biden campaign. He said Biden is never, ever going to quit.
The president's accomplishments have really been second to none, and Joe Biden's going to get up every day. The one thing Joe Biden is never going to do is count on this. He is never, ever going to quit because that's not what he's done his entire life, notwithstanding the fact that, by the way, he lost another child early in his life, and he got up and he went to work. And then he had difficulty with his other son, and he got up and he went to work, and he's going to keep doing that as we move the country forward.
You know things are going bad for Biden when they start talking about the dead son. You know, the dead son who the special counsel said Biden had no idea when he died. You know, the son where Biden couldn't remember what parish he got the son's rosary from during that press conference. Yeah. So they trot out Alejandro Mayorkas, of all people, the embattled Homeland Security Secretary. And he says, look, you know, I've been in meetings with President Biden. You got to watch out. He's the sharpest tack in the entire room.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Unfortunately, he's focused on an episode of the Flintstones he saw in 1974. Well, they're talking about the Hamas-Israel war, but yes, he is very focused. Oh, yes, that's the one thing I come away with when I think about a meeting with Joe Biden, is that Joe is hyper-focused, and he's asking these probing questions. Biden's personal attorney, Bob Bauer, was on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan, and he painted a similar story. Bauer was actually in the room October 8th and October 9th when Biden sat down for the 2 days of interviews with the special counsel. He said, look, I was there. These interviews went great.
So when you say misstatements of fact, you were in the room.
I was.
For this deposition
Yes, I was.
over 2 days, 5 hours.
Correct.
Did the president have problems recalling details?
I recall from that interview a president who engaged with the questions very directly and gave his best recollection, and in fact, I think was quite helpful to the special counsel.
All right, well, there were transcripts of those interviews. You going to allow those to be released? Bauer said, maybe. You'll have to check with someone else on that.
What you're talking about and letters you've released make it sound like there are indeed transcripts that you have of these conversations over the 8th and the 9th.
Yes, I'm drawing here on my recollections, but yes, there are transcripts. And as you heard Ian Sams in the press briefing room say, there are discussions underway because it's a classified document about what could or whether will be or when released. I can't add anything to that today.
Do you favor releasing them?
Well, it's really a decision that has to take place within the government. It's a classified document.
Counsel,
I'm the
though.
president's personal counsel.
Right. Would you recommend that these be made public if they indeed back up your personal record?
Again, there's a process underway. I'm not a specialist in that process, and so I really have to defer to those who have to work through those issues.
Mr. Bauer, what is a transcript? Look, hey, I'm not a specialist. I can't define a transcript. You're going to have to talk to somebody. Of course they don't want the transcript released because the transcript's going to reveal everything that I think a lot of people suggested. And that is what I actually thought was when that, first of all, I was shocked that a special counsel would actually put this was not dicta. This was not, dicta is what goes into a court's ruling that doesn't actually directly bear on the ruling. So there's a holding and then there's dicta. And dicta is stuff that's like not necessary. You don't have to put it in. And the Biden team has been saying, well, this is just gratuitous. He didn't have to put it. No, the conclusion was we're not going to try president. We're not even going to try the president because he's a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, and he's going to portray himself as sympathetic to a jury. We can't secure a conviction because this guy might not have any earthly idea that he was holding classified information, and thus the requisite intent could not possibly be proven. It is a direct reason why they're not pursuing criminal charges against Biden. What I suspected, as soon as I had a little bit of time to digest that report, the initial shock that they would actually say, wow, the president is too demented to be tried. That's quite the bombshell here. And I love how the media is, it's a political problem. No, it's a problem for the fact that the leader of the free world is too mentally gone to be able to be criminally tried, but has nuclear codes. That's sort of my bigger concern as opposed to an election in 9 months. In any event, I actually thought the special counsel was kind of dancing around just how far gone Biden was. Like they're saying, hey, he had trouble remembering when he was vice president. It was a subtle hint at how bad this transcript was. Dems, we can all see it. We all have eyes. We all see Biden just 4 years ago and Biden today. Anyone with a video recording software can show you Biden then, pretty good. Biden now, yikes. We name the unhinged liberal of the day. Coming up next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Winter in Wisconsin offers two options, hibernate or activate. For those who choose the latter,
Warm up your goggles with
playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest 9 times each weekday on News Talk 1130 WISN. Listen for a keyword, enter it at WISN's website, and take your shot at the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Ward Kitchen and Bath, specializing in the redesign of master bathrooms, turning your spaces into amazing places. WardKitchenandBath.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell here for my friends at the Lynch Automotive family of dealerships. It's Truck Month once again at Lynch, and they have all the American trucks you love. Chevys, GMCs, Fords, Rams. Take advantage of these low financing offers this month. Purchase a new Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra and receive 2.9% financing for up to 72 months, or pay just 1.9% financing for up to 72 months on select new Ford F-150s in stock, or receive a $4,500 rebate when you buy a new Ram truck. Also included in every new vehicle purchase at the Lynch family of dealerships, the Lynch Protected program, which covers your paint, windshield, and tires for 1 year after purchase at absolutely no cost to you. Low financing and peace of mind when you choose Lynch. Head over to shoplynch.com today. That's shoplynch.com.
I'm Dan Small. Join me for Outdoors Radio Saturday morning at 6 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Brought to you by the Milwaukee Muskie Expo, February 16 through 18 at Washington County Fair Park in West Bend. MuskieExpo.com.
Hey, business owners, it's Joe Breyer with Lake Country Advisors, your local, experienced, and trusted M&A advisors here in Wisconsin. We offer confidential, free exit strategy consultations to discuss the sale of your business. Visit us today at LakeCountryAdvisors.com.
When you hire your local CertaPro painters, you get
the power of a cut above.
Decades of expertise to transform your home from so-so to virtuoso.
The power of neighborhood painters.
We live where you live and probably like the same pizza place you do. Put
the power of pro
to work for you today. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Jay here for Coal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Their fiduciary advisors understand the complexity of retirement planning and have developed a streamlined process that allows them to recommend personalized retirement plans that work for you because your retirement should be on your terms. If you have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, go to thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary review or call 262-522-4040.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Wisconsin, you deserve better. You deserve stress-free quality roofing. Let Klaus Roofing Systems by Buck Buckley, BBB award-winning service, take care of you and your family. For a free roofing consultation, visit KlausRoofingByBuck.com. And remember, put a Klaus on your house.
A wiser way to build your wealth.
A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee-only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interest compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to FinancialStrategiesInc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
What did we ever do without the libs of TikTok, folks? Kyle Rychek has, in the span of, 2 years, maybe 3 years, built a mini media empire by doing nothing but proving how insane liberals are. With that, a Libs of TikTok inspired edition of the Unhinged Liberal of the Day.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
All white people are racist.
Trump is dangerous because he's evil.
America is over.
A couple of weeks ago, or maybe it would have been last week, I think. First full week of February, maybe 2 weeks ago, because February 1st, I think, fell on a Thursday. We had a TikToker who was very concerned that the whites would ruin Black History Month again. And she came up with a couple of creative nicknames for the whites. I think it was Crispy Crackers or something like that. Well, this TikToker has her beat with some of the most creative and totes not racist nicknames for white people.
Usually I don't agree with Napkin Americans, but in the case of this Plantation Barbie, I agree. I would never call you Napkin American to your face. I would probably go with something like Rice Rascal, No Purpose Flower, Chalk Child. Chalk Child is a personal favorite.
Chalk Child.
That one. What about Lice Lieutenant? Do you prefer Lice Lieutenant? When did you have Lice? Walking Ranch. That's the one for you. You are a walking ranch. Yeah?
Lice Lieutenant. I personally kind of like Rice Rascal. Rice Rascals might be the nickname of my fantasy baseball team this year. I'm not sure. That TikToker as outed as only Libs of TikTok can. Your unhinged liberal of the day. I'm sorry, I can't help it. These people are hilarious caricatures of what I imagine liberals to be. And they're real people. They're real people. We bring in Dave Spano, president and CEO of Annex Wealth Management. Dave, we are going to, of course, talk about the Federal Reserve, where we go from here. Got to ask you, what did you think of the Super Bowl?
Well, it was interesting, and I did say to my son, we were watching it together, and I said, if you let Pat Mahomes hang around and not score, and they had a lot of opportunities, he's going to, he's Michael Jordan. He's going to do something big at the end, and that's exactly what happened. So that was interesting. Of course, some of the ads were fun as well, but I did win, I want you to know, because you're a big Swiftie. I won a bunch of prop bets relating to how many times they were going to show her and so on and so forth.
What was the over-under? We were trying to figure it out.
It was seven.
It was 7. Okay. Yep. I said I thought it was 7. It went way over. What was it, 13, 14?
No, well, it was 8. Once we were in the money, we didn't care. We were on to the next. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I thought I saw it was 13. That might have been total broadcast times for T Swift. And that doesn't count her chugging the beer on camera, which wasn't actually broadcast, but it was in the stadium. And then, of course, everybody videoing it and that. I actually, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, conservatives, I think we have got the Travis and Taylor thing all wrong. Because of raw politics, I actually think Travis and Taylor are a conservative ideal, even if they themselves aren't exactly.
You see Mr. Trump made headlines relating to Taylor this morning.
I did. He likes Travis Kelce, even if Travis Kelce doesn't like him. I loved it.
And he said she's made so much money because of
him.
Right, because of the radio contract that he freed up. Right. Okay, now we got 15 seconds. So how about all right, the S&P 500 is over 5,000, and now a little bit of FOMO is beginning to set in, fear of missing out. And again, it's all about these AI stocks continuing to rock and roll. Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA. By the way, if they were their own sector, it would be 30% of the market cap.
It's just insane.
Cranks, and 31% was their earnings growth compared to the other 493, just 1.9%. So, folks, they are going to continue to rock and roll, but make sure that your portfolio is aligned because volatility will come as we get later into the year.
What is it you always say, Dave? You need to know what you own and why you own it, because
and how much you're paying for it.
And how much you're paying for it, because when there's that much of a discrepancy, no amount of money you win off of Taylor Swift can make up for a bad financial plan. That's why we need you to go to AnnexWealth.com. Dave and I are going to talk even more about the Super Bowl and a whole lot more fun stuff on The Difference, our weekly podcast that you can get on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts.
that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good morning, I'm Tad Allen. Milwaukee police have made an arrest in connection to a body found in a South Milwaukee dumpster last week. Police say they arrested a 31-year-old Milwaukee man yesterday for the murder of 55-year-old Alexander Stengel. Stengel's body was found Wednesday in the dumpster of a South Milwaukee Pizza Hut. Police haven't identified the suspect or what evidence led to the man's arrest. Formal charges are expected this week. A Wisconsin Republican congressman has decided not to run for another term. 8th District Representative Mike Gallagher announced over the weekend he won't seek re-election this fall. In a statement, Gallagher said electoral politics was never supposed to be a career, and Congress is no place to grow old. Gallagher was criticized by fellow Republicans last week when he voted against impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. During his 4 terms in the House, Gallagher has been seen as a hawk on U.S.-China relations, chairing the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party. A shooting at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church in Houston yesterday afternoon leaves a woman dead and a child and a man injured. Police say the woman entered the church accompanied by a boy believed to be around 5 years old and started shooting. 2 off-duty law enforcement officers who were at the church then opened fire and killed the shooter. The child with the woman was hit by the gunfire and is in critical condition. The identity of the shooter hasn't been released. Her motive for the shooting is still under investigation. Checking the WISN Sports Scoreboard, the Bucks host the Denver Nuggets tonight at the Fiserv Forum. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Tad Allen on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean, anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hassellus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic Pro Adapt Hybrid with ease adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next day delivery and employee free showrooms too.
So I can try and buy.
With no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hassellus Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hassellus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com.
Here's the latest forecast from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A bit of a frosty start to our work week, but the sunshine should warm us up to around 44 today. Light west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. A few more clouds and 28 tonight, around 38 with some sunshine on Tuesday. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Temperatures getting low, but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hands-on attention to guide you through your home building process to make sure we not only meet, but exceed your expectations. That's what you can expect from Bellman Homes, along with stick-built quality that will last for generations.
The Wodes dining room table from Penny Mustard is a sight to behold.
It exudes power and strength.
Incredible things happen at the Wodes table.
Yeah, if you do homework at this table, every answer is correct.
Well...
If you play poker on this table, you'll win every hand.
Don't say that.
Well, you won't know until you try.
The Wodes dining table, starting at $32.54.
Paired with Boggs chairs for $8.02 each.
Only at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Do you have children under the age of 18? Have more than $50,000 in assets? Without a proper estate plan, the government will create one for you. Learn more on Your Hometown Lawyer from Mielek Law, Saturday at 3 on WISN. Visit MielekLawWI.com. And remember, fail to plan, plan to fail.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawns spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlawns.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we have represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Anka.
And I'm Skip Bronson.
What happens when two old friends take their decades of experience in the business and sit down with our buddies?
You get Our Way, a brand new show from iHeart Podcast where we chop it up with our pals about everything under the sun.
Hear amazing guests like Jason Bateman, Michael Bublé, Mark Burnett, and many more as they sit down with Paul and Skip.
This is our podcast, and we're going to do it our way.
Listen to Our Way on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Be sure to listen to the Annex Wealth Management Investment Show Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Annex provides its expertise to arm listeners with the knowledge and tools to invest wisely. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, news, talk, and sports radio. Podcasts, too. Download the app. Free never sounded so good.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
So let me get this straight. Travis Kelce gets a ring, but Taylor still doesn't. Thanks for that joke via email just a couple of seconds ago from loyal listener John. We'll get to some more texts, some more emails, phone calls too, if we can. Coming up on the second hour of the Dan O'Donnell Show, big political news here in Wisconsin. Mike Gallagher with what I would classify as a truly stunning Saturday afternoon news dump. I actually had the news broken to me by producer Dave. I'm literally driving on my way to coach a soccer game, and I get Mike Gallagher retiring. And I think the only thing I put my phone or my watch up to my wrist and said, whoa, that's surprising. This does come on the heels of his frankly horrendous vote not to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas. And I was wondering, because Congressman Gallagher, I know a lot of people in this audience do not like him, but he is a great friend of the show. He's done fantastic work on origins of COVID, on holding the Chinese accountable. I thought it was very surprising because he's been on this show a ton. When I reached out to his office and said, hey, would he like to explain this vote? They said, we'll get back to you later in the week, Dan. And they never did. And I thought, I wonder if something else is going on here. Sure enough, it is. We will discuss that coming up in just a second. Hey, speaking of Travis Kelce, I am so glad that he won, because the way he was roid raging at Andy Reid, I would have been scared for Taylor to go home with that man had they lost. Just saying. He did produce a new meme. If you go over to Facebook or Instagram or pretty much anywhere, it's screaming in the face of Andy Reid. My favorite meme, it is instantly a meme. My favorite has got to be, Jesus said I need to wash your bleeping feet. I did get a little bit of the theology wrong. I want to thank the numerous listeners who pointed out I did get it wrong. Jesus washed the feet. This was on Maundy Thursday, right? During Holy Week, right before the Last Supper, because he was demonstrating that the Savior can be the servant, not he was washing away their feet. I got that conflated in my mind with the idea, it's like from the book of Hebrews or something, that Jesus washes away our sins. So yes, thank you. Even Dan O'Donnell gets things wrong. You know why, folks? I am simply a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a bad memory. And it's been a long time since I graduated from Catholic school, okay? So, yeah, the woke Jesus ad I did. This makes it worse, folks. Do you realize the context here, okay? So Jesus is the master, right? He is the king of kings, right? He's washing the feet to show the master can become the servant. It was all white people washing the feet of, I think there was a lesbian environmental activist with pink hair. You had a woman going to get an abortion, Black Lives Matter chick, Muslim woman. So what are we saying? That white people are kind of above? It's this whole woke Christianity nonsense from the He Gets Us campaign. I don't know what it is about this thing. It just, does it get? I suppose I can't complain since I got the theology wrong just as they did. Then again, I didn't waste $7 million to do so. AdventKnows.com talk and text line always open. 414-799-1130. You can also reach me toll free 1-800-838-9476. Email me directly DOD@iHeartMedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Twitter, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show, and YouTube.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. Watch the show streaming live. Like it, subscribe to it, tell your friends about it. Dan O'Donnell Show streaming live. Cold hard cash contest. Word this hour. Grand, G-R-A-N-D. Grand. You've got until 55 past the hour to go to our website, enter the keyword grand to enter the contest for this hour. So do you think it was the fourth or fifth booster that made Travis Kelce snap on the sidelines? What do you think it was? Not exactly sure. The man is out of control. I am worried for Taylor's health. The last couple of boyfriends, I think she could have physically taken. She's like 5'9", 5'10". You don't think she could beat the crap out of Jake Gyllenhaal? Oh, totally. Oh, she dated Harry Styles? She would snap Harry Styles like a twig. It would be like Andre the Giant, just, full body press going down on Harry Styles. Travis Kelce, I'm a little worried about that temper. He's a big dude. So apparently after the Super Bowl, they're out at a club. And by the way, could you find a better place to celebrate a Super Bowl championship than Las Vegas? I'm old enough to remember, primarily because it was like 10 years ago, that gambling was considered just such a societal evil, and especially in sports, right? You couldn't have anything to do with gambling. This was even before the Tim Donaghy game-fixing scandal in the NBA. Donaghy was the NBA ref who was caught fixing games to bet money on them. And interesting, nobody talks about that anymore. But you couldn't have anything to do with gambling. Right now, I'm doing advertisements for DraftKings, and the Pick 6 app is, I do this because I'm a huge fantasy football player. I do daily fantasy every now and again when I think about it. I put up the DraftKings app. And by the way, they do have by far the best daily fantasy app. It's just a well-done app. And the Pick Six app, though, is far more like gambling. You're betting on the over-under. So you pick a number of players, and then you'll say, like, Patrick Mahomes. Will Patrick Mahomes have more or less than 2 touchdowns? You're essentially gambling on the over-under. I wanted to take for the Super Bowl Taylor Swift. How many times will they show her? I guess the over-under number was 7. I think it went way over. Now, conservatives have been freaking out over, I think, what is a joking theory, and always has been, that the NFL was going to Tim Donaghy up the Super Bowl to ensure that Travis and Taylor got their fairy tale ending. And, of course, the big image was those two embracing. Can somebody please, where's our official Photoshop artist? Can we get Travis screaming in the face of Taylor Swift instead of them embracing after the Super Bowl? I believe Berserker Dave, our official Photoshop artist of the Dan O'Donnell Show, can do something with that. But they got their fairy tale moment. And the fear was that they were going to endorse Biden. Of course she's going to endorse Biden. Like pretty much every 30-something-year-old woman, Republican or Democrat, she's not a big fan of Donald Trump. That's a reality we've got to accept, folks. Trump has a real problem with women. This idea that it was, though, a psyop, even the Biden White House, long after the old man had gone to sleep, they posted from the official Joe Biden X Twitter account, Biden with red eyes. This was the dark Brandon. This is a thing. It's based. Do you know what based means? Like, in conservative circles, based means like ultra conservative. You're going hardcore, whatever. And it's like Trump with red eyes, okay? Like he's a psycho super Trump. They did that with Biden. And admittedly, I thought it was actually a clever tweet. Credit where credit is due. It was just like we drew it up, right? Like the Super Bowl got rigged just like we drew it up. Okay, Biden drawing something up is going to look like a seismic chart reading when there's an earthquake. It's just going to be a bunch of scribbling. Biden ain't going to be drawing anything up, folks. We can all see this. But conservatives, I think, have got the Travis and Taylor thing all wrong. And I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this. Even bigger pushback than when I misstate scripture. When I misstate what conservatives have long believed, and this is where it comes into conflict a little bit, just a little bit, conservatism and what it means to be, like what we value in role models. It comes into conflict a little bit with Trump. And even Trump, by the way, has softened on Travis and Taylor, putting out on his Truth Social early this morning that a bill he signed giving radio rights to artists made Taylor a lot of money. So she should be thanking him. And he likes Travis Kelce, even though he thinks Kelce is a Democrat and does. Am I the only one who thinks the Kelce family, they are like quintessentially conservative? I guess I would just assume, does Jason Kelce, does the brother, a big beer swilling good old boy, does he strike me as a dude who's like, yes, trans lives matter? No, he strikes me as a conservative. He's got a wife he's been dating since high school, a couple of kids. Travis, okay, yeah, Mr. Hollywood with the sequin suit. But I want you to think about what it is we as conservatives value. We value loving relationships, which, so long as Travis Kelce doesn't scream in Taylor's face like he did with Andy Reid, okay, there's a loving relationship there. We celebrate young love. They're not totally young. I think Travis is 35. She's 34. Maybe Travis a little younger than that. I'm not actually sure. He's been around forever. She's got an incredibly successful career, right? I would argue the most successful career in entertainment right now. She goes, literally halfway around the world to do what? To support the man she loves. Travis goes to her concerts whenever he can. Couldn't go to the Grammys because I think he had to arrive with the team for the Super Bowl that day. But is this not successful people? And think about how they got their success. Taylor Swift grew up on a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania. Her dad isn't Quincy Jones, okay? She's not a Nepo baby. She made it because of pure, raw talent. When she was 13, 14 years old, she was writing incredible songs. She was a massive country star by the time she was like 15 or 16. That's just incredible talent, right? But then she worked as hard as possible. She does write a lot of her songs. She directs almost every one of her music videos now. She's just a genuinely gifted, creative, talented person, right? Travis Kelce, same deal. Sports is the ultimate American meritocracy. There is no room for nepotism. There is no room for horse trading. Unless you're Thanasis Antetokounmpo. You don't get a roster spot because your brother is the most famous basketball player on earth. There is one exception, and that is Thanasis. The Kelce brothers didn't come from, NFL royalty. And while, yes, the Manning family, you've got Archie and then Peyton and Eli, and now the nephew, Arch Manning, is he still at Texas or is he going to transfer? There's a classic example. Arch Manning is the heralded prospect. He's making millions of dollars in name, image, likeness money. Can't beat out Quinn Ewers for the starting job at Texas. Why? Because Ewers is just better. It didn't matter what kind of last name Arch Manning had. And Travis Kelce is, whether you like him or not, probably the best tight end to ever play the game. I think there are three guys who have a claim to that throne: Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce. What? No. He's in there saying Mark Chmura. No, I'm just kidding. Ed Harris is the guy you're thinking of. The Packers tight end? Not Ed Wood. Oh, it was Jackie Harris. Ed Wood was the director. He's saying, Ed Wood. I'm like, that was the horror director, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Johnny Depp played him in a Tim Burton movie. It's not Ed Wood. There was not a Packer named Ed Wood. Seriously? I'll be doggone. Was he friends with Bela Lugosi? Regardless, we're getting a little sidetracked here. Regardless, these are two people who, through hard work, through dedication, through talent, have reached the heights of two careers that are almost impossible to make it in. Was I right about Ed West? Yes, good call. There was a tight end name. Ed Harris, Jackie Harris. All right, we were close. Yeah, moving on. Do you have any other random 1970s Cincinnati Bengals that you'd like to get wrong? These are two people who have reached the absolute pinnacle of success. Yet at the same time, they appear to be making time for each other. Now, is it their fault that the media... Taylor Swift is the most famous woman on earth, and I don't think you can even argue it. Of course, there is going to be media fascination with her. And yes, she is a Democrat. She is a woke liberal. Everyone in entertainment is. Unless they're John Voight or the guy who played Hercules, chances are they're going to be a lib. It's a fact of life. But in terms of true conservatism, isn't this sort of the lifestyle we want? Just take politics out of it. Take the Pfizer endorsement out of it. And everybody knows he actually was taking those shots so he could, he could hulk up like Bruce Banner so he could physically assault his own coach in the Super Bowl. That's why he was taking those shots. These are people who, in another life, you would say, these conservative, this is the model for how we want a conservative lifestyle to be, right? let's say they get married, have a couple of kids. I don't think that's possible. I don't think Taylor Swift can get married. I think she would run out of material pretty much instantly. But the point is that I think we have sort of looked at this all wrong. That look at it in terms of what is it that we value as conservatives in terms of balancing work and life, in terms of finding happiness. And yes, maybe a lot of it is all playing up for the cameras and whatever. It's showbiz. That's what happens. I'm telling you, I'm just saying we might have gotten this all wrong. Mike Gallagher suddenly, without warning, announces his retirement. We discuss coming up next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Keep in touch with Dan on Twitter at Dan O'Donnell Show. More of the show next.
This is Michael Lynch from the Lynch Truck Center. We've been working hard sourcing work trucks from all over the country. We currently have over 300 commercial work trucks in stock and ready for your choice of upfit. Our sales team is 100% dedicated to commercial trucks, which means our truck professionals can get you the right truck right now. Our new inventory of Chevrolet, GMC, Isuzu, Hino, not to mention our used inventory, combined with nearly 30 commercial financial lenders, ensures the lowest rates possible for you and the fastest buying experience. Our service center has over 20 dedicated truck bays running 2 shifts, a contact-free sales process, and delivery drivers ready to deliver your truck right to your door. We know your time is important, so we make sure our process is quick and hassle-free. Find your new truck today at lynchtruckcenter.com or stop into the Lynch Truck Center at Highway 36 in Waterford. We won't disappoint you.
Infinity's app shows precise costs of your new roof, providing peace of mind.
Infinity costs less, and the price we quote is surprise-free.
Because we pay less, you pay less. Warranted, guaranteed quality.
Installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
Need to sell your home fast? Metro Milwaukee Homebuyer can help you with that. Get cash for your home quick, no matter the reason you're selling it or the condition it's currently in. Visit MetroMilwaukeeHomebuyer.com and find out about how you can sell your home fast for cash.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Jay Weber here. If you're someone who is experiencing shoulder, hip, or knee pain and a total joint replacement may be in your future, think Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Find them at orthowisconsin.com. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, their physicians are committed to providing the highest quality joint care and specialize in same-day total joint replacements at their own ambulatory surgery center in Pewaukee. You can find them at orthowisconsin.com. orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Be greeted by an owner at America's largest employee-owned jewelry store.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Conservative thought, not just talk. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. I'm dead serious about this Taylor and Travis thing. I think they are the perfect all-American couple. Do you know what else I absolutely love about them? The woke cannot stand Taylor Swift. Do you know how I'm totally serious about this. They are convinced that Taylor Swift is getting the accolades that Beyonce should, but Beyonce is not because Beyonce is a black woman. Did you hear what happened? I don't know if I mentioned this on the show or not. Jay-Z got a Lifetime Achievement Award or something. I'm sorry, every time I think of Jay-Z or talk about Jay-Z, I think of this tweet. Women, there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. Jay-Z, hold my beer. Good rapper, some pretty awesome dreadlocks, not a good-looking dude. Let's be honest. Beyonce, gorgeous. I mean, beautiful, beautiful woman. I don't know, and you know that woman is like, oh my God. Blue Ivy, the daughter, looks just like Jay-Z. See, she couldn't get some of these genes right here. Beyonce, in an effort to upstage Taylor Swift last night, announced a new album. I'm telling you, Taylor Swift makes woke Twitter insane. They hate Taylor Swift. Hater, hater, hater. They say her concerts are not diverse enough. Do you know there were actually articles written about Taylor Swift not having a diverse enough posse with her in the press box when she's watching football games. So she drags along Ice Spice. That was who that was. Yes, she looks like Karine. That's very good. I said she sort of looked like a black female version of Ronald McDonald with that hair. And you know I like hip hop. I actually like Ice Spice. I think Ice Spice a very good rapper. What's that? Can I name one of her songs right now? No, I don't know. I listen to it when I'm taking my kids to soccer. But she's got a nice flow. Would I sit down and listen to Ice Spice? No, probably not. Do I have to listen to Ice Spice when I'm taking a bunch of high school kids to a soccer game? Yes. It does sound like candy, doesn't it? Ice Spice? I think she is. Yeah, it does sound like it sounds like a new White Claw ripoff, doesn't it? Ice Spice. I think she is missing a marketing opportunity here. Nonetheless. So she drags along Ice Spice. I think we're getting the Taylor Swift thing all wrong. Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher, shocking, I think, pretty much everyone with this announcement on his X account at about 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. 8 years ago, when I first ran for Congress, I promised to treat my time in office as a high-intensity deployment. Through my bipartisan work on the Armed Services and Intelligence Committees, chairing the Cyberspace Solarium Commission, and chairing the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, we've accomplished more on this deployment than I could have ever imagined. But the framers intended citizens to serve in Congress for a season and then return to their private lives. Electoral politics was never supposed to be a career, and trust me, Congress is no place to grow old. And so, with a heavy heart, I have decided not to run for re-election. Thank you to the good people of Northeast Wisconsin for the honor of a lifetime. 4 terms serving you has strengthened my conviction that America is the greatest country in the history of the world. And though my title may change, my mission will always remain the same: deter America's enemies and defend the Constitution. Mike Gallagher, member of Congress. The timing was certainly interesting. He cast a very, very high-profile vote, one of just 3 congressmen, to vote against the impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas. A 4th did so as a procedural strategy in order to get a vote back before the full House when Steve Scalise, who would obviously vote for impeachment, would be out of cancer treatment. This came 4 days after that vote. Are the 2 related? No, probably not. I have no inside information. Producer Dave, what have I said for years now about what Congressman Gallagher is going to do after he leaves Congress? What have I said? Fox News. That's exactly right. The man is on Fox News more than Sean Hannity. Sean Duffy, the man he replaced no, that was Tom Tiffany, excuse me. Mike Gallagher replaced, it was Ribble, Kagan. Who is the guy? Ribble and Kagan would trade off in that Green Bay seat. Doesn't matter. Sean Duffy went from Congress to a very cushy position, along with his wife as a Fox News talking head. Gallagher is a very good-looking guy. He's incredibly well-spoken. He is a perfect fit for Fox News. Just absolutely perfect. And if you think about it, there's also, you know where a lot of these people go afterwards, right? Lobbying. Tons of money in lobbying. I don't know. Trust me, I have the Gallagher people have not wanted to talk to me in a while. Well, since I asked to have him come on and challenge him a little bit on that vote, challenge him a lot on that vote. I think if I had to guess, he is going to pop up on Fox News. He's going to be a Fox News contributor, and they're essentially signing him to some sort of development deal because everyone needs to be staffing up for digital platforms. Fox News runs Fox Nation, their subscription platform, and let's face it, someone like Gallagher, with his reputation, with his looks, with his ability to broadcast and speak and command, he's got a very commanding presence. He's an incredibly knowledgeable, smart guy. To me, he's a perfect fit. Look at Congressman from South Carolina, Trey Gowdy. I am just Bidening left and right here. I completely forgot we're talking about the greatest tight ends of all time. Forgot about Shannon Sharpe. Much as I don't like the guy, he probably is. It's Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharpe, Rob Gronkowski, and Travis Kelce. If I may put on my sports talk radio host hat, they are the Mount Rushmore of NFL tight ends. Trey Gowdy. Trey Gowdy's got a Saturday night or maybe Sunday night show on Fox. I think that's the Mike Gallagher route. If I had to guess, then again, I don't know. Is it related to the vote he took? No. Is Gallagher, however, going to be a reliable Republican vote in as much as Republican votes could boost Donald Trump? He's made no real bones about the fact he's not a huge fan of Trump. He has disagreements with him, and I think his argument against impeachment was solid. It does have constitutional backing. I believe he was wrong. Reasonable minds can disagree, but he is a principled man, and he is leaving Congress. Now, you know what? We're way behind for a break. We're going to talk about the race to replace Gallagher. Roger Roth, did he have that press release pre-printed or what? Dan O'Donnell here for my great friends at Mander Collision and Glass, now with 6 locations to serve you. You hear me talking often about Mander's customer service. Well, here's one of their customers, Haley, who writes, I had a small chip in my windshield. I called and came in right away to see if it could be fixed. Mander had a glass technician in the building that day, and within 20 minutes of arriving, my chip was filled. Very friendly staff and great customer service. My husband and I have used Mander for a few needs with our vehicles, and we will continue to go to them. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Haley. Your loyalty is a reflection of Mander's extreme dedication to customer service. They'll go the extra mile as a matter of policy, and that is why I tell so many people to go to Mander. Now with 6 locations to serve you, Mander truly is your best decision after a collision or for windshield repair.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules.
Active Mortgages and Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
Learn the secrets to create your own ultimate backyard retreat with Brett Ochtenhagen of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. Tune in every Saturday at 1 p.m. on News Talk 1130 WISN. Learn more at seasonalservices.com.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with the simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
After years of discomfort, it's like I'm alive again.
Sonia Hackett talks about how QC Kinetics changed her life.
QC Kinetics has given me my quality of life back.
Before QC Kinetics, Sonia suffered from horrible knee and back pain stemming from a car accident.
I was wearing knee braces just to try to maneuver around.
Sonia hated the idea of pain meds, and surgery seemed too risky, so she turned to the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics, the leaders in advanced regenerative medicine.
That consultation just changed my life. I can do the treadmill, everything. I don't have anything holding me back. The quality of life is pain-free. QC Kinetics has made us very happy.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today.
I'm going to get emotional again. They are like family members to me. They care.
Call QC Kinetics now.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. Brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp. And new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Anka.
And I'm Skip Bronson.
What happens when two old friends take their decades of experience in the business and sit down with our buddies?
You get Our Way, a brand new show from iHeart Podcast where we chop it up with our pals about everything under the sun.
Hear amazing guests like Jason Bateman, Michael Bublé, Mark Burnett, and many more as they sit down with Paul and Skip.
This is our podcast, and we're going to do it our way.
Listen to Our Way on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's a tour de force of truth here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Welcome back to it. Another 3 hours coming up on News Talk 1130 WISN 326 in for Mark Belling. Today it is going to be all sports and Taylor Swift talk. No, I'm kidding. Alejandro Mayorkas is taking no responsibility, none whatsoever, for the situation at the southern border.
Do you bear responsibility for what is happening at the border, what the president himself has called a crisis?
It certainly is a crisis, and well, we don't bear responsibility for a broken system, and we're doing a tremendous amount within that broken system. But fundamentally, Congress is the only one who can fix it.
We'll discuss in much greater depth coming up on the Mark Belling late afternoon show. Congressman Mike Gallagher announces his retirement. First words my husband said when he heard about that. So what do they have on him? A Facebook comment on our live stream. BJ watching the Dan O'Cam. Next word, he'll stop while he's young and can do something. Which network offered him a job? I'm telling you, it's Fox News. And think about it. Okay, folks. I've got like the greatest, most cush gig in the world. I'm not stupid. I know how good I've got it. I don't have to worry about fundraising. Unless you folks, you know, if you can Venmo me money. If you really think I'm doing a great job, you can send me to. No, I'm very unethical and probably totally illegal. Please do not send me money. Unless it's like untraceable $100 bills. You can drop it off at the station in Greenfield. I'll give you the address. Yeah, Dave says give it to him. He'll pass it along to Dan. Just drop it in an envelope and don't follow up at all to see if Dave gave me the money. No, I don't need to worry about donors. I don't need to worry about voters. I need to worry about you if all of a sudden a ton of you stop listening to me. Clearly, iHeartMedia management would have an issue with that. But broadcasting it's a fun job. I forget who it was. I think it was Chris Collinsworth, maybe Billis, Jay Billis, is that his name, from ESPN, says there are two types of jobs. Don't ever forget that there are two types of jobs in the world, and only two. There are have-to jobs and get-to jobs. I've been very blessed to have a get-to job from the time I was 19 years old. And I never really take that for granted, that it's an incredible privilege to do something that's a passion, to do something that's fun. Congress is a get-to job, yes, but it's also a have-to job. I think I was pretty open about the fact that when House Speaker Paul Ryan retired in 2018, there were some feelers put out to me about whether I would have any interest in running. I think I just gave station management an absolute heart attack. No, I'm not leaving to run for Congress ever. I'm fairly certain. My father has said he would murder me with his own hands if I were to ever become a politician. And my wife, I have no interest in going to either Madison or Washington. It's a difficult, at the time I had a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and like a 3-year-old. There was no chance I'm leaving them every week and making my wife a single. So it's a grind. And I can see Gallagher is 39 years old. He's getting right into the part of his life where, people start to take you seriously. So my dad also said, when I was very bummed out years and years and years ago, I was not going to be allowed to fill in on a certain other radio station or do a political talk show. He said, Dan, you need some gray hairs before anybody takes you seriously. And he was right. He was right. Imagine me, 24 years old, talking to you, listening to me at age 55. How serious would you take me? There's a lot of people who don't take me seriously. I'm 42 years old. Do you know what I hear a lot? You haven't lived long enough. You don't have enough experience to know what you're talking about. I'm like, thank you. But I dare say, based on the fact that most days I feel like I need a nap, I am plenty experienced. Gallagher's getting right into there. Now, race to replace him already on. Former state senator, lieutenant governor candidate Roger Roth within like 15 minutes. I think Roger Roth had his tweet timed to when Gallagher's, because I told you, I heard this news from producer Dave on the way to a soccer game. Soccer game lasts 1 hour. I'm coaching little girls soccer. As I get out of the game, talk to the team. Hey, great job, girls. Everybody root for Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. I see a news alert. Roger Roth has already announced that he's running for Congress. This is a very strong Republican district, meaning that the real race will be in the Republican primary. There is a second candidate who is taking a very strong look at the race. The only problem, he doesn't actually live in the district. He lives nowhere near. His name is Alex Bruzewitz. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's real big on social media. He's a huge Trump guy. He's part of the Trump campaign. He's 26 years old, and some of the things he tweets are, how shall I put this? Not totally factually accurate, but young go-getter. He says he's taken a very strong look at this. He's from Ripon. I guess he graduated from Ripon High School. And he says, well, my grandparents still live there. Well, Alex, buddy, got to establish residency before you run. Almost certainly, the Wisconsin Republican Party will get behind Roth. However, if Bruzewitz were to get in the race, you can almost be assured that Trump would endorse him. And remember, this is an election where Trump is also on the ballot. Green Bay is more rural than southeast Wisconsin, where you've got a lot more suburban conservative women who are less likely to vote for the Trump-endorsed candidate in a primary. And we saw this same sort of dynamic play out in the gubernatorial primary, where you had the Trump-endorsed Tim Michels beat pretty easily, pretty handily, Rebecca Kleefisch, who was endorsed by pretty much every member of the Wisconsin Republican Party. You're probably looking at the same dynamic if Bruzewitz gets into this race. However, by virtue of being a statewide candidate and by virtue of being a state senator, Roth, I think, would have the inside track because so many people in the district know him. If Bruzewitz was running for Congress representing Mar-a-Lago, I'd give him the edge. But A, he's going to have to establish residency. Otherwise, that's a real easy challenge for a primary opponent. And B, he's going to have to demonstrate that he has more depth and substance than just what it is he tweets out. We'll talk more about this probably this afternoon, tomorrow, but we have to take a break. We'll be back right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
When it comes to remodeling, everyone has advice about who you should hire. But who can you trust? Your boss? Neighbors? Random online reviews? No. When it comes to remodeling, you can trust NARI. All NARI members are experienced, proven, qualified, and verified by local people who know the industry and have your back.
Join us for the NARI Spring Home Improvement Show, February 16th through 18th at State Fair Park. Get discount tickets at narimilwaukee.org.
Don't know what to do for Valentine's Day? Sendix has everything you need to surprise your sweetheart. Stop into your neighborhood Sendix for roses or beautiful bouquet of flowers, or have a talented designer custom design an arrangement that they'll love. Plus, shop a full selection of specialty gifts in store. Make the perfect Valentine's Day dinner at home with savings on Sendix fully trimmed whole beef tenderloins for $9.99 a pound. And don't forget the wine and chocolate-covered strawberries. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Are you ready to feel more confident about retirement? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. Our team of fiduciary advisors can help. Give us a call today at 262-522-4040 and listen Saturday at 10 a.m. to The Retirement Clinic.
This is Michael Lynch from the Lynch Truck Center. We've been working hard sourcing work trucks from all over the country. We currently have over 300 commercial work trucks in stock and ready for your choice of upfit. Our sales team is 100% dedicated to commercial trucks, which means our truck professionals can get you the right truck right now. Our new inventory of Chevrolet, GMC, Isuzu, Hino, not to mention our used inventory, Combined with nearly 30 commercial financial lenders, ensures the lowest rates possible for you and the fastest buying experience. Our service center has over 20 dedicated truck bays running 2 shifts, a contact-free sales process, and delivery drivers ready to deliver your truck right to your door. We know your time is important, so we make sure our process is quick and hassle-free. Find your new truck today at lynchtruckcenter.com or stop into the Lynch Truck Center at Highway 36 in Waterford. We won't disappoint you.
Hey, business owners, it's Joe Breyer with Lake Country Advisors. Are you thinking about selling your business but have questions about the overall value, how to keep things confidential? Who would buy your business? Or maybe you're just curious about the overall process. No need to worry. At Lake Country Advisors, we offer a free exit strategy consultation to answer all your questions about selling your business. We are local, experienced, and trusted. So visit us today at LakeCountryAdvisors.com. That's Lake Country Advisors, changing the way businesses change hands.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95 and comes with our Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Get ready for our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards, presented by The Hartford, live at South by Southwest. March 11th, we'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year, and you'll help decide who wins Podcast of the Year. Vote now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance is the presenting partner of the 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards, live at South by Southwest. To learn more or start a quote, visit thehartford.com/smallbusiness. With insurance designed for your small business, the Bucks got your back.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The free iHeart Radio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Together, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeart Radio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeart Radio, free never sounded so good.
iHeart Radio.
If you are searching for an island of decency in a sea of media corruption, you're in the right place. Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Dan O'Donnell Show, classical conservatism, contemporary style. It's a tour de force of truth. Here's a truth. There was not nearly enough diversity in the Super Bowl halftime show. Oh, wait. Are we not allowed to say that when it's all hip hop and R&B performers? Or not? I love the Super Bowl halftime show. I know it's getting mediocre reviews. I love Usher. I'm a millennial. What do you expect? You could not go to a club or a bar from like 2004 to about 2009 without hearing Yeah by Usher and Lil Jon and Ludacris at least 3 times a night. You just couldn't. So this was right in my wheelhouse, and all of the millennials, my wife, my in-laws, my brother, my sister-in-law, we were going crazy. Weirdly enough, my son's girlfriend, 15, 16 years old, she knew like every word to every Usher song. And I'm sitting next to her saying, how do you know this? It turns out she's in dance and like cheerleading and all that. So Usher is The man is insanely talented. You could tell neither he nor Alicia Keys were lip syncing. Do you know how I know? Especially Alicia Keys. She missed the wrong. She kind of, her voice cracked. Very first note she sang. Usher, that man was out of breath to do the dance moves he did, and on roller skates. My wife is like, be careful, Usher. Don't roll off the stage. Man's just insanely talented. I loved the halftime show, but admittedly, it was totally geared towards people like me in the audience I was watching the Super Bowl with. Although my father-in-law, who's in his 70s, he loved it too. And clearly, huge homage. Usher has wanted to be Michael Jackson for pretty much his entire career. And he performed half of the Super Bowl halftime show with one sparkling glove on, if that homage wasn't clear enough. But I thought it was fantastic. The other question that I had, everybody is perplexed, a little outraged by the Black national anthem that they now have to sing before every Super Bowl. And it's, you know, I don't know. I thought we had one national anthem. It was for everybody. Apparently, no, not. I always wonder, is it appropriate to kneel for the Black national anthem? If I were to kneel in protest of police brutality, if every white person knelt for the Black national anthem, would that be offensive? Or is that an acceptable form of protest? It's an interesting thought experiment, isn't it? So, And by the way, Reba McEntire, great national anthem, won me some money by going over a minute, 30.5 seconds. We'll have more Super Bowl talk. Should get the overnight ratings by the time I come back at 3 this afternoon on the Mark Belling Late Afternoon Show.